I think there's a two-part answer to that, and we start with Thierry Henry. This would be everything for him because it hasn't gone his way when you think of club football. For a legend that he's been and what he's meant to the sport and what he's meant to clubs like Arsenal, what he's meant to the national team, he's a winner through and through. But to step into that upper echelon of up-and-coming coaches, when you think of what's going to happen once Didier Deschamps leaves the post for France, whenever that is, this could be the thing that catapults him into that position to be one of the favorites to take over for the older team, Les Bleus, the senior team.
Especially just being, it's their home, it's a fun story. You want to see folks win in front of their home country, so I think that's fun. Also, I think when you look at the way this team was compiled, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, the intelligence with which Thierry Henry and his team chose the overage players, game changers, folks that are going to come in with an extra bit of inspiration, an extra need to want to perform wearing a national team shirt or, a shirt with your country's badge on it, where typically they wouldn't get a chance. Mateta, I think of, Lacazette, just absolutely really smart choices of players that are coming in that can just add that extra bit of, I guess, experience and know-how, and just really want to score for their team. And you're seeing some of the scenes here, the enjoyment. I think that's really smart. Plus, you got guys like Olise who are playing at the top of their game at a young age, 22 years old. This makes for a very difficult team that I think Spain are going to have a real problem with.
Thierry's done a lot of stuff right, and you got to give him credit. And it's going to be harsh, and that's how football is. I think it's too harsh when you measure someone's success or failures based on one game. He got to the gold medal match. Anything else would have been seen as a failure. Like, what if they don't win, then he doesn't become that guy for France because he lost one game?
This is an example of him managing in a knockout tournament. If you win this bodes well for you to be a national team manager because you will primarily be taking on knockout tournaments.
But based on one game? Like, I understand what you're saying. Obviously, you want Thierry Henry to succeed. And
he couldn't get it done.
Right, he couldn't get it done. Anybody can lose one soccer game.
But I think that the thing that comes with being a manager of this French side is look at the talent. They are the favorites going into this tournament. They're the favorites going into this very match. And if he was to take over the senior side, they will be one of the favorites going into a World Cup. And if he wins this match, this is the difference. This sort of match is the difference between him getting a just premium job after this, whether that be the U.S. men's national team or the difference between getting him one of those premier clubs in Europe. I mean, a lot of stakes on this match.
Yeah, I agree. I think football is a little bit harsh in that way, where your success is measured in 90 minutes when, if I'm hiring, I'm looking at an overall project, I'm looking at an overall CV, I'm looking at what he's done before this, I'm looking at what he's done
Don't you think
now.
that adds a point to my argument, or the opposite of your argument, in the sense that if you look back into his CV, there's a lot of missteps. I think he's become a better manager throughout the years. I think he's grown. I think this is a culmination of that. I think this proves he is a different manager. If you look back at his time in MLS, not that great. If you look back at his time in Monaco, not that great. You look back at his time being an assistant manager, that Belgium didn't win. There's a lot on his CV that says, like, yeah, he's a great player, and I think he can lead a team, but this proves he can lead a team to win.
Okay, so they haven't lost yet, by the way, in these Olympics, so it's been a very successful tournament for Thierry Henry and for France. What is the conversation surrounding Thierry Henry? We're talking about if he does win, if they do take home gold. If he loses, despite the fact that they've had this successful Olympics, Michael, how does it change the way perhaps he's perceived in a managerial way?
I think his stock has definitely risen, and the critique of him when he was at Monaco and sometimes with Montreal was he wasn't relatable enough between the new generation of players and the high demand that comes with being one of the legends of the game. And I think that gap is closed significantly with what he's done, getting the best out of Michael Olise, who I think will probably be the player of the tournament, given what he's done in the attacking third. Him and Jean-Philippe Mateta, they look incredible together with their chemistry. But to go that one step further, to sit on what would be the Mount Everest of the Olympics this year, that would be everything for Thierry Henry. He's a winner. He's won at the club level. He's won at the international level as a player, and those sort of players, they're all about winning. So this is all about winning. It's not coming for the silver medal.
Yeah, I think him winning this removes that little bit of doubt that maybe, the sporting director.
But does his stock fall if they lose?
No, I don't think it falls.
Okay.
I think he's proven he's a better manager than I think people who doubted him as a manager have been talking about him and the things they've been saying. But that thing of, can he win? the question now is, will he win, right? If he loses, especially the way he loses is important, right? If that were to happen, and I hope it doesn't, because I think I picked France to win the whole thing, so I'd love to be right once on one of these predictions. But I think the way, like maybe it's mistakes with, substitutions, or maybe it's a tactical shift that ends up causing them. If that were to happen, then I think you'd have some doubt, maybe some questions. But for the most part, I think he settled a lot of the murmurs around his coaching career of, but he can't relate to players. He absolutely can. You see the way, and that's why I think it's so important
He got
that
to the
clip of
gold
them
medal
dancing
match.
was released.
Similarly, I think to a lesser degree, every Champions League starts, and what do we say about Guardiola and City? They have to get to the final. That's a wild demand from the football sphere.
He's won it before.
Right, exactly. But it's a wild demand for you win Champions League with the team that you have. Winning the Champions League is difficult, and he's gotten to a final. He lost one. He won another one with Manchester City. It's a difficult. Like at this point, in a football tournament. If I understand if you're Noah Lyles in the 100 and you say you gotta win gold. We demand from.
What do we demand of Team USA basketball?
To win gold, but they are significantly better than the rest of the pack.
Would you not say that about City?
So
no,
they're deeper.
Absolutely not.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Nico. Let me ask you this. Going into the tournament, what do you think the expectation with the talent pool of this French side?
The expectation was gold.
With each match
you can't
that we've seen,
gold. That's different.
What do you think the expectation is in France? Do you think they're expecting silver?
No.
Or are they demanding gold, that it's on their home turf?
Of course, if you're French, you want to demand gold, but to place that obligation on a team from the very beginning, it's a lot. He got to the gold medal match, and you could lose one game. It's not as lopsided as other sports. This match, Spain is good. Spain is good, although they haven't been too convincing. There's been times that France hasn't been convincing that much either. They could have lost to Argentina. They could have easily have tied that game. Argentina had a lot of chances, and we'd be talking about France eliminated in the quarterfinal. But he got there. Unless it's something that you can significantly point to the manager, I think it's difficult to say that if Spain loses this game, if France loses this game and ends up with a silver medal, giving their 100% that this tournament can be seen as a failure. They did absolutely everything.
I don't think it won't be a failure. It'll be a disappointment.
I don't think
it'll be a disappointment.
I think that's harsh.
I
think it's harsh to demand gold or nothing.
That's why I don't think that's the question.
From a highly competitive tournament.
I don't think anyone's talking about they demand gold from this France team. I think we all would say that they fell short if they don't win it because they are that good. I think we'd all say
How much better are France than Spain as a team?
They're not that much better.
I don't think they're leaps and bounds better, but I would say they are the better team.
They weren't that much better than Argentina. They could have easily have lost Argentina.
So let's not forget what France will have in their favor is they will be getting their strongest 11 back, where Kone will be back at the 6th position, Enzo Malo will be back. So when you talk about the expectations, you put that in as well, you got to be expecting gold. Everything is there for Thierry Henry and this side to go and win this match.
Right.
I'm expecting them to win.
Well, of course. Right now, with the final
I'm saying that if they don't win this, it'll be a disappointment.
I'm talking about from the very outset when you hire Henry. Of course, you hire Henry with the idea, with the vision to win gold. But as a collective, it's an extremely tall task, and he's right there on the surface of doing it. Like there's. My gestures. I should try to speak with my hands behind my back.
Please don't.
There is a lot of merit to getting to this stage, to convincing and getting everybody on board. That
I don't think anyone's suggesting there isn't. Yeah. And I don't think anyone's disagreeing with you.
And then I'm going back to my point to like. Is he worthy of being the French national team manager? Is he worthy of a top job based off of 90 minutes?
I think we would all agree. He's a great manager. He's gotten this team to play above and beyond their expectations, and he seems to be able to unite a team. What he removes by winning is what can be said next, which is but. And then insert anything you want. He didn't win it when he had the chance. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. You remove that by winning the gold.
All right.
Also, how badass of a photo is that? He's just got his tattoo showing, a Protect Philippe. It looks like him and that rooster are going to go fight somebody. It's absolutely incredible.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.